Are you a beginner to Orion Drift and you need a guide? Well, you're at the right place. Here's 20's beginner guide. So first, we're going to split it up into 3 parts. First, the basics. Second, the Orion. And 3, drift ball. Okay, so first, you're going to load in and you'll be here. This is, it doesn't have an exact name, but I just call it the starting area, space shuttle, kind of stuff like that. And as you notice, you have 2 balls on your hands. And if you push yourself forward, you'll notice 2 things. 1, you roll, and second, the low gravity. Because this is a game in space, so gravity. And here are the controls. So the 2 side grips to stop breaking. Top grip just for the fingers. X or B and Y are for boost. So now that you know the controls, if you head through this door, that will automatically open. Right through here, you'll be in the main area. Now this is the computer. So as you see, there's a bunch of buttons that are quick travels. If I just press that button, it'll teleport me to a random server that is drift ball. And same one, scrap run, blitz, parkour, and all that stuff I will get into in a little bit. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna press join any station. We'll pick any of these and just put you to a random, or you can go to browse stations. Now here you'll have the whole menu, and these are the servers. So I'm in the rookie category. So these are all the rookie servers. And then there's core, basketball, clubhouse, free runners, golf, club, grown up, passers, and scrims. Now up here, you just click on it to change your region, which most of the time you will not be. And then these stuff, they're really useful. I don't think I've ever used a search, but maybe some people have. So that's the basics of this. So now, let's get into a server. Okay, once you load in, you'll most likely be right here. But there's some servers like free runners, club, and stuff like that you will spawn into different districts. Okay, now to explain the Orion. We are currently on the Orion, which is basically a spaceship with different districts. As you can see, that's a district, that's a district, that's a district. All the platforms are a district. Now, to explain the districts. First, we have the drift ball district, which, as you can guess, is where we will play the main game mode known as drift ball. As you can walk through here, you'll notice that there's 2 buildings on the left and the right. Circuit Lounge, where there's like a few games you can play, and usually you just chill out with people. And then if you come over here to the right, there's a store called Spark Supplies. If you need some more help, there's the store sign right there. Usually they'll have like some bundles, like showing off and stuff. This is where you will most likely buy all your cosmetics, other than the ones you can get from the challenges. If you want to change your cosmetics, you can come right down to the staircase from the left of the doorway. And you'll find these computers. You can just go right up to them, and you'll see all the categories of the cosmetics. If you want to know how to play drift ball, your best chances of learning are asking the other drifters, watching tutorials, and just straight up playing and seeing what works. So on to the next district. When you're at the space shuttle and you come right down, if you go to the left where you'll see this like bridge thing, this is called the Rainbow Road, because as you look around, you can see as it goes on, it becomes rainbow. And when you step on it, you'll get a big speed boost. Now this arena, or this district right here, is Drift Blitz, which is basically a soccer-like mode.
How does this even happen?
And if you continue going down, sometimes you'll see districts like this, where it looks like a rib cage. They might be planning to do stuff with that. And here, we have the weekly dribble challenge. Or as you can probably guess by the name, every week there's a new dribble challenge you can do with your heart ball. If you just go to the middle of your chest, and then grip and pull out. This is your heart ball. And right next to it is the club district. Some people call the club district the golf district. Well, since mainly it's just you're golfing. The golf district is split up into 2 parts, the lower 9 and then the upper 9. You can get to the upper 9 by just straight up boosting up, or back there, see that big blue line? That's a railway, which you can take and it'll just bring you right up. Now here, we have the weekly racing challenge. These change every Wednesday, and it's just a little race you can do with friends. If you come up the ramp, you'll see this, thing. The way you race is for single, you press this button. For double, press this button. And as you see, there's a countdown with 2 racing sections. Now here is the weekly parkour challenge. What's so special about these challenges is that when you complete them, you get cosmetics, specifically patterns like how I have now, and colorways. There used to be more optics, but they haven't done those in a while. Now, we have the parkour district, which is mainly just filled with parkour challenges, mountains, there's even an underground area. Now finally, we have Scrap Run. The way to get into Scrap Run is if you come down this little red path, you'll find a hole that'll drop down in. And you're wondering, what's that? That is a tag arena, but that's still in early access. Now if you drop down here, you'll find yourself in front of Scrap Run. So how Scrap Run works, it's basically a course for drifters called runners to go through and get to the end all the way up. I think it's around there. See that big blue platform? That's the end. While scrappers have these machines and buttons that are used to sabotage the runners. For example, over here, you'll see the runners have to get across there, but the scrappers have a button called SWAT, where they have a platform come down and knock them off. Now, if you continue down the Rainbow Road, you'll notice we're basically back at the beginning. But there might have been one more thing that you noticed. If you look back, you could see these platform districts. That is known as Z-Drift. Some ways to get the Z-Drift is either you could just fly straight, or as you see, it's aligned with this district. So if you go into the district, and go right to the back where the pillar is on, now, when you reach the pillar, you'll see there's a zip line that leads right up. So once you're on the bridge, you can just cross the Rainbow Road, and you'll find this hole right here. As you can guess, you gotta go down it to find the Z-Drift arenas. What's super special about Z-Drift is that it's a replacement for Echo. So as you can see, this is the only game mode in this game that the gravity is 0 gravity, I guess. It's special gravity. And so this is the first entrance to, let's say, the blue team. If you continue down there, there'll be another entrance to join the red team. Now this is Z-Drift.
Oh my god.
Okay, so now that I've shown you around the Orion, let's get into the last thing you need to know. Drift Ball. Okay, now that we're back at the Drift Ball district, as you walk down, you can notice this little table. This is basically a map, which will show you all the statuses of the current arenas. Like in Plaza West, you can see there's one drifter in the arena. So, for the video, we're gonna go to Plaza East. So we'll head right down here, and we can use these yellow squares, which are known as boost pads. Okay, now we're at Arena. So as you can see, there's 2 doors, which indicate 2 teams. This for Cyan, and this for Red. We're gonna join Cyan. Okay, when you first enter, you'll notice a few things. There's a bunch of structures and geos to hop around on, and there's little circle things on the ground. These are small boost pads. When you pick them up, you'll notice the bar right here, or you might not be able to see it, but there's a bar right here that fills up. This is your boost bar. These big, tube things are full boost. They give you your maximum amount of boost you can contain. Okay, so now let's get on to the basics of Drift Ball. So when you come to the front, this is called mound, where you can see it says place ball. This is where you start the game. This is the drift ball. It looks kind of like a soccer ball, but it's not. The way to pick up a ball is, this isn't like any other game where you can just press your trigger on it and pick it up. You actually have to pick it up and scoop it up like it's an ice cream cone. I recommend, if you're first starting this game, is to take the ball and just move around with it. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how to use the ball on the ground. Usually by now you're probably moving the ball just like this, where you're pushing it on the ground. But this game, it's not too effective to keep on the ground. So what most people do is they get the ball and they scoop it up with one of their hands, using the side inside of their hand on the side of the ball to pick it up and hold it in their hand. Now they use their other hand, for example their left, to move it around. This might be tricky at first, but the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. And eventually, if you get good enough, you can try it with your left or right hand. And you can eventually get good enough to start swapping between the hands. This is a physics-based game, so when you're using it in your hand, you don't want to be like tapping it like this. You want to be guiding it. Okay, as you just saw, I started moving, curving around the sides. That is called carving. That's the main aspect of this game that makes it so much different from every other VR game. The way carving works is with the balls on your hand, you put it down at the sides of your body, which you can find a better tutorial for this on TikTok or YouTube. Then you just move around it. And actually you need some speed to be able to perform a carve. But you'll know you'll carve when you'll feel like some stickiness and you'll see the particles beyond it. See the particles? That is carving. There's a lot of different types of carving. There's floor carving, wall carving, then there's even ceiling carving. Okay, so now let's actually get onto shooting. There's a lot of ways to shoot the drift ball, but in my opinion, the best way to shoot it is by throwing it up, and then when you shoot, use your arm and your wrist at the same time by acting like you're pushing a thing away. You don't really want to slap it, but sometimes it can be useful, like this. Eventually, the more as you do it, you'll get better at shooting, and you'll find new ways on how to shoot. Like specifically, if you go to TikTok and look up someone named Slumgum, then you'll find a shot called, I think he called it the flick shot, where when you use your wrist, which will create a lot more power, like that. Which I'm not going to show you how to do in this video, but if you guys really want it, you can either check out his page or request it in the comments. Okay, so maybe you went and played some games, and you've noticed that there's people that are able to fly with the ball. Now first, we're going to start like this. We're going to cup the ball like a cone, you know? And then you're going to use one of your hands, like your right or your left, and you're going to hold your boost, and you'll eventually fly up. For example, you can fly so many different ways. Usually drift ball games go until one person either gets the 6 points, or the game ends and whoever has the most points wins the drift ball match. Well, that's mainly it, what I can teach you guys about drift ball. And that is an Orion Drift beginner guide. If you like it, please subscribe, because I spend a lot of time on these videos. Well, that's all. Have a good night or day, guys. Here are 3 things beginners in Orion Drift need to know.